Welcome to Mr. Beats-Idiots at Work. This is where you will see your moment compilations. The power of nature, a reminder for man. Okay guys, welcome back to Mr. Beats, and today we will not simply do super fun challenges, but also challenge an extremely important issue. Fitness, strength of nature. The next 60 minutes will be a journey, which I guarantee will not only make you shiver, but also change the way you look at nature. I'm not joking. This is more fun than eating a giant pizza.
Oh putain! La montagne elle est tombée!
First, have you ever thought about the power of nature? Not just a storm, but a feeling where you can feel its
Just
power.
look at how quickly this
Like when
storm
you stand on a
flipped the
beach,
bus.
watching a
The
tsunami
sheer
about to hit,
speed of
you will
nature's
have only
fury
thought,
is nothing
is there
short of
anything I can do to
astonishing.
get out of here? I remember the first time I recorded a video in an area near a volcano. It truly feels as if nature is speaking to me. I can feel the volcano pounding beneath my feet, and there's nothing I can do but stand still and hope it doesn't erupt now. Imagine a big wave or earthquake appearing right when you are not ready. You will have to exclaim, "Nature is really strong." We always think we are the center of the universe, right? But when you're faced with natural disasters, you realize that, well, we're just an extremely small part of a huge ecosystem. You can build a 100-story building, but you cannot build a leaf without nature.
A massive cloud of dust is slowly approaching the ship.
You may not realize it,
It's
but
a
nature
truly
is not always
terrifying
pleasant
scene.
to us. Let me
An
tell you a funny
intense
story.
moment
Once I
unfolding.
participated in a challenge somewhere near the sea, and I never thought that the waves there could be that strong. Did you know, that wave was so strong that it pulled me almost off the shore. And that's when I learned a lesson. Never underestimate the power of water. Just joking, but as you can see, nature can destroy everything. Remember the tsunami in the Indian Ocean? More than 200,000 people lost their lives in just a few minutes. And we all just stand by and watch, doing nothing. That is the true power of nature. And not
Back
only
in
tsunamis, nature can also cause
a massive
earthquakes,
landslide
big storms,
occurred in
and floods.
China,
I'm not a person
leaving
who panics,
behind a
but
path
really,
of
when you
destruction.
stand in front of nature, you realize that your life is truly fragile. However, don't just look at it one way. Nature also has a very interesting side, which not everyone knows. Surely you are thinking, if nature is so powerful, why doesn't it destroy everything? But this is what makes nature so magical, right? It has miraculous recovery abilities that
This
not everyone knows
volcanic
about.
eruption
Just
occurred
for
in the
fun,
Philippines,
but nature is the
where the
fastest
rise of
recoverer on this
lava
planet.
upon contact
Once a
with the
forest
lake's
is completely
water
burned,
triggered a
it
violent
only takes a few
explosion.
years for a new vegetation to grow. Not to mention, you can see many animals come back after the disaster and continue to live. I still remember on a video shooting trip, I walked through a forest after a big fire. At first, things looked terrible. But just a few months later, the seedlings grew green again, as if nature said, "Don't worry, I will recover." And this is the lesson from nature. Sometimes we have to go through great challenges in life, but as long as we don't give up, we can recover as strongly as nature. Okay, after knowing that nature is so powerful and incredibly resilient, what do you think about us protecting nature? Surely you will think, nature is so strong, why do I need to protect it? But that was a big mistake. We cannot just think that nature will save itself. If we continue to litter, destroy forests, and release CO2 emissions unchecked, one day we will no longer see lush forests or beautiful beaches. Instead of destroying, we must be friends with nature. Perhaps you are thinking, what do I do that has a big impact
This
on
is
nature?
a swimming pool
But how
during
can
the
someone who doesn't
earthquake in
change
Turkey,
make a difference?
with the water
Every small
shaking and
action like
sloshing
reducing
from the
waste,
powerful
saving
tremors.
energy, and protecting animals will contribute to helping our planet recover and grow stronger. Nature is also something very special. Nature not only has destructive power, but also has magic that cannot be described in words. Have you seen those landscape paintings that we often admire? Majestic mountains, beautiful waterfalls, or colorful flower fields. Those scenes not only bring relaxation to the soul, but are also vivid works of art that nature gives us. And don't forget, nature is our lifelong friend. Without nature, we would have nothing. No air to breathe, no water to drink. See it as a close friend that we must protect and cherish. Let's get started. First, imagine you are standing on the beach. One beautiful day, the sun was shining. The waves were gently lapping the shore. And then, suddenly, oh no, the tsunami is coming. What will you do? Surely you wouldn't stop to take a video, right? You will run fast. Surely you have heard about the 2004 tsunami in the Indian Ocean, right? One of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history. It claimed the lives of more than 200,000 people in a short period of time. And that's just one of many examples of the sheer power of nature. The beauty here is, nature doesn't care about you or me, it just does what it wants. You can build a whole city, but if I wanted to, I would wipe it out in a second. And I have a little story from a video shoot near an active volcano. The feeling of standing near a volcano that could erupt at any moment truly makes you feel as if you are a tiny mosquito facing a pan of hot oil. You can hear the sound of the volcano roaring in the distance. And the only feeling you have is, I hope it doesn't erupt now. As I stood a few kilometers from the crater, I realized that nature will never ask for your opinion. If it wants to attack, it will attack. That is why we cannot help but respect nature. We can do everything to control nature, but the truth is that we are just pawns in a game in which nature is the master. People often say nature is very fierce, but you know, nature also has extremely magical sides. After every storm, after every earthquake or tsunami, nature
Tsunami
always has
in
a way to
Japan
recover
swept
and
away
grow again.
countless cars.
Now let's go to the entertainment corner. Forests being
Captured an
destroyed by forest
unbelievable
fires.
moment
But do you
as
know,
lava
once the
poured into
forest
the
is burned,
water,
nature does not
creating
give
a
up.
breathtaking
In a few
and
months, seedlings
mesmerizing
will grow,
scene.
animals will return, and life will begin to revive. It is one of the miracles that nature can do, recover from devastation, and never give up. Let me tell you a story from my recent trip. I filmed a video in the forest after a big fire. At first, no one thought it would recover, but just a few months later, the forest had new trees and animals return. Trees grow green, and some flowers even bloom again. If that's not a miracle, then I don't know what else to call it. You know what? Nature has unimaginable restorative power, and that's why we shouldn't ignore it. We can destroy a forest, but nature will recover in a few years, and life will begin again. I know many of you are thinking, natural disasters happen because nature cannot be controlled, but I think we can understand a little bit about why. Maybe you haven't heard, but humans are one of the factors that make nature more unpredictable. The climate change we are causing is making storms stronger, flood seasons longer, and even earthquakes and tsunamis more unpredictable. This is no joke. When we do not treat nature right, we suffer the consequences. Amazon forest fires, global warming, and extreme storms all are linked to human actions, and what we do today will affect generations to come. Surely you don't want one day when our children and grandchildren will look at what we left behind and just sigh, right? Nature has helped us survive, but we don't do enough to protect it. As I said from the beginning, nature is not always pleasant to us, but if we know how to live in harmony with it, nature will be the greatest friend we can have. We need to protect nature, reduce emissions, reduce waste, and protect wildlife. This is not an easy task, but it is also not impossible. Every small action we take, like saving water, using renewable energy, contributes to protecting the planet. Even a small action can make a difference. And if you ask me, is there anything we can do to stop the destruction of nature? The answer is yes, we can. We can protect nature, we just need all of us to act together and change our habits. We can start today, from saving water to reducing waste to protecting nature reserves. Nature is an unpredictable force that can be destructive or revitalizing, and it can react to us in ways we cannot predict. But the important thing is, we can't just wait and hope that nature will fix everything on its own. We humans must act. Remember, nature is a wonderful gift that we enjoy, and if we do not know how to protect it, we will lose that gift. So, today I want to send you a simple but very important message. Live in harmony with nature, because if not, we will pay the price. Surely you have heard many times about humans being destructors of nature, right? Sometimes, I also feel like we are traitors of this planet. Do you see, every time we deforest, indiscriminately exploit minerals or release emissions into the atmosphere, we are pushing ourselves into a difficult path. There is a famous quote from David Attenborough, the famous naturalist, that says, "We cannot be separate from nature, and we cannot continue to destroy it without consequences." This is actually very true. If you have an old car and every day you
In
throw
this
rocks at the engine,
CCTV
it will definitely
footage,
break down.
you can see a
but as for the
dangerous
planet,
flood
we've been
sweep
kicking
through a
Earth's
goat
engine for
farm
hundreds
in just
of
a
years.
matter of
Have you ever
seconds.
thought that if we don't change our way of living,
the
maybe
goats
one day
managed to
we will
escape
no longer have land
unharmed.
to live on? Think about the ecosystems we are destroying. From the Amazon, which we deforest for agriculture, to the oceans we are polluting with plastic waste. We are draining the planet's resources without thinking about the long-term consequences. So what can we do to reverse this situation? The answer is, act now, it's never too late. Try changing some of your daily habits like recycling, using renewable energy, reducing waste, or simply planting a tree. Small actions, but when performed by millions of people, will create unimaginable power. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment. You are sitting in a racing car, and this car is our planet. But the problem is, this car is seriously damaged, and no one is driving it. So we, the people in that car, must voluntarily take the wheel and save it before the car encounters a terrible accident. Time is running out. The truth is, the natural disasters we are witnessing are not
like
coincidences.
actual stones are
Super
falling
strong
from the
storms,
sky.
giant floods, record heat waves. All of them are caused by human impact on the environment. And that's why we must act now. Otherwise, we won't have time to fix it. So what is the question? What can we do to save this planet? To make nature as beautiful as before, and not to face worse consequences? One of the best ways to minimize human impact on nature is through green technology and sustainable development. Instead of exploiting resources indiscriminately, we need to invest in technologies that clean, regenerate energy, and reduce emissions. One of the most obvious examples is solar and wind energy. We can generate energy that is not harmful to the environment, and can even gradually replace traditional energy sources such as coal and oil. In fact, technologies like renewable energy can help us reduce global warming. And Did you know, we are now seeing many countries begin to transition to clean energy? From building giant wind farms to developing electric vehicles to replace gasoline-powered vehicles. These are good signs. What we cannot deny is that we cannot do everything alone. Humans can impact nature, but nature can also help us restore itself. The beauty of nature is its ability to restore itself after disasters. But when we interfere too deeply, too much, we lose the opportunity for nature to self-regulate. To protect nature, we need to have nature reserves, places where humans do not interfere too much, so that nature can revive naturally. These protected areas not only help maintain biodiversity, but also help rebalance the ecosystem of our planet. When I think about change, I think about things that each person can do in their daily lives. One of the simplest but very effective things is reducing waste. Let's start from reducing the use of plastic, recycling, and using environmentally friendly products. Anything we do to reduce our negative impact on the environment will help the planet recover quickly. Your small action may not be seen immediately, but if millions of people do the same, the effect will be huge. Remember, we can't save the world just by sitting around and waiting. Action is the key to saving the planet. So, after everything I shared today, you can see that nature is not just an object for us to study and admire, but it is truly an indispensable part of life. We cannot live without nature, and nature cannot live without us. Nature has infinite power and can change everything in just a moment, but if we know how to protect and treat nature well, it will continue to give us a better, long-term life. Then, don't let the planet pay the price for our indifference.
Back in 2011, a massive tsunami struck Japan.
You can see,
with powerful waves
many
covering
people are
vast
still living in
areas
their
and
safe
leaving
zone,
widespread devastation
and do not
in its
think about
wake.
the consequences of small actions, such as littering or wasting resources. Therefore, environmental education becomes an important factor to help us build a sustainable future. If we don't start with young people, if we don't change their habits from a young age, it's very likely that there will never be big changes. In fact, many schools and community organizations are actively implementing environmental education programs. But the problem here is that we need to do more strongly. Have you ever thought about teaching children not only about saving water or classifying waste, but also how to understand and love nature? This not only helps them know how to protect the environment, but also develops a love of nature and respect for animals and the ecosystems we live with. That's why, during my travels, I always try to remind people of the importance of protecting nature. Not only because it is a moral duty, but also because the environment will determine our survival. If we do not invest in environmental education, we will only increasingly face dire consequences from ignorance. What we really need is a sustainable development model, one that can help us maintain a good life without destroying the planet. Sustainable development is not just a slogan. Now let's go to the entertainment corner. But a way of life. It requires a combination of economic development, environmental protection, and social justice. This means we must not only ensure that our economy grows, but also ensure that this development does not harm nature. So what can we do to promote sustainable development? Think of initiatives like renewable energy, organic agriculture, ecotourism, or environmentally friendly products. These choices not only help minimize impacts on nature, but also create new economic opportunities. Investing in sustainable development is investing in the future. I want you to look at the companies, the countries, the communities that are moving in this direction. A good example is Costa Rica, where almost 100% of their energy is produced from renewables. It is a model that the world can learn and apply. They have proven that development does not always have to come with environmental destruction, but can be a green and sustainable development process. This is an important reminder. We still have time to change, but time is running out. If you're thinking, oh, I have the rest of my life to worry about this, you might be wrong. Climate change, biodiversity loss, and the consequences of environmental pollution are not problems that will happen a century from now. We are seeing the impacts right now, right away. Here, polluted rivers, trash-strewn beaches, smog-shrouded cities are all clear signals that we are in a race against time. Let me tell you a story about my trip to an ocean full of trash. I clearly remember the image of waves crashing on the shore, but instead of smooth white sand, it was full of plastic trash. It was an unforgettable sight. If we don't act now, one day, these beaches will be just a giant pile of trash. And that will be the legacy we leave to the next generation. Friends, when I talk about the power of nature,
This
I'm not
is
just talking about
unbelievable.
storms or volcanoes.
Strange.
I also talk about the power of ourselves, humans. The power we have to change the way we live, protect nature, and create a better world for ourselves and for future generations. Nature is not something
Enormous
distant,
soldier crabs.
but a part of
It's
life,
truly amazing.
a part that we need to love and protect. Nature will always be strong, but if we do not learn to live in harmony with it, we will pay the price. Surely you will see that if we act together, if we all agree, we will be able to change the world. And that's the message I want to convey in today's podcast. Act now because our future depends on the decisions we make today. You've probably heard stories about people who feel inspired or at peace when in nature. In fact, nature not only nourishes us physically, but also has a profound impact on our mental and emotional health. When you spend time in a forest, stand under a waterfall, or simply walk on the beach, how do you feel? Everything seems to slow down, your mind becomes more relaxed, right? That's
On
not
one
a
side of the
coincidence.
road, it's raining
Scientific
heavily,
studies have shown
while
that
the other
nature
side
can reduce
basks
stress,
in clear, sunny
increase
weather.
creativity,
A
and
rare
improve
and strange
mood.
moment of
Studies
nature.
show that when we are exposed to nature, our bodies secrete hormones such as serotonin, helping us feel happier and more comfortable. This is extremely important in modern life when we increasingly feel stressed and anxious due to work and other problems. If you don't believe it, try going outside, turn off your phone, and just sit quietly in a park or take a walk in a forest. I guarantee you will feel a distinct mental difference, as if you are reconnecting with a deep part of yourself. Another indispensable element is the community connection with nature. Have you ever participated in community activities such as cleaning beaches, planting trees, or even helping people living in areas affected by natural disasters? These activities not only help protect nature, but also strengthen community solidarity. Surely you know, when a group of people act together for a common goal, their power will be much greater than when only one individual acts. That's why environmental protection campaigns like Earth Day or Plastic-Free July have a strong influence. Millions of people around the world participate in these campaigns, and when each person contributes a small part, the result is a global change. If each of us participates in small actions such as cleaning up public trash, reducing plastic use, or promoting environmental protection, we will create a strong,
Have you ever
unified,
heard of
and
the
influential
reindeer
community.
cyclone?
Radiate.
While it's not
Community
entirely
is a
new,
powerful force,
its unique
and when
movement
we
is
connect
always
with nature
impressive.
as a community, we can create a powerful and sustainable movement.
And everything in its path.
Perhaps one of the greatest things nature has taught us is its ability to revive and renew. Did you know that after major natural disasters, nature can still recover and regenerate? A burned forest can regrow, a barren land can become fertile, and a polluted river can gradually recover if properly protected. That is something we can learn from nature. No matter how much damage we do to the planet, nature can still recover if we give it time and conditions. This is like each of our lives. Even though there are difficult times, as long as we make an effort and give ourselves time, we can still change and improve ourselves. And it is these stories of resurrection that give us hope. Hope that all our efforts to protect nature will be effective. Hope that our actions will make this planet healthier. And hope that future generations will be able to live in
This
a green,
lightning strike is
clean,
incredibly
and sustainable
powerful and
world.
bright.
I want to tell you about some innovative technologies being developed, which I believe will help us protect nature more effectively. These technologies can not only help reduce human impact on the environment, but also help create sustainable solutions in the supply of energy, food, and resources. A great example is solar and wind power technology. These systems not only help provide clean energy, but also help reduce dependence on polluting energy sources such as coal and oil. Electric cars are also a clear demonstration of how technology can help reduce emissions, clean the atmosphere, and reduce environmental pollution. Furthermore, technologies such as smart agriculture, where we use sensors and artificial intelligence to optimize water and fertilizer use, will also help reduce resource waste and protect land. From growing plants to producing food, technology is helping us do amazing things we never imagined. So the final question I want you to ask yourself is, what do we do next? Nature waits for no one. Changes need to be made now, not later. Not when the situation becomes more dire, but right now. Every action, no matter how small, will make a difference. You may not be able to change the entire world alone, but if each person in our community takes a small action, we will create an unstoppable force. Small changes in individual behavior, in the way we consume, and the way we interact with nature will create a series of larger changes, and one day we will look back and see that we have done a miracle. So, friends, I hope that after listening to this podcast, you will feel the power of nature and be clearly aware of the intimate relationship between humans and the planet we live on. We don't always have to do big things, but if we all do small things, together we will create a better world. Remember that your small actions can create a big change. Don't wait. Don't let things pass without doing anything. Nature is calling to us. Take action today to protect this planet, to protect our future. So,
In 2019,
let's kick things off by
Mount
diving
Etna
into the
in
power
Italy
of
erupted
individual
powerfully,
action. We've all
spewing
heard the
ash
phrase,
and lava
it's
into the
just one
sky
person,
and creating a
what
dramatic
difference does it
spectacle.
make? But I'm here to tell you, every single action counts. Think about it. If everyone on Earth made just one small change in their daily habits, the collective impact would be huge. Whether it's switching off lights when you leave a room, recycling more efficiently, or even opting for reusable shopping bags, these small actions can lead to massive change. It might not seem like much at first, but imagine if billions of people did this every day. I always think about this one time when I was in a small town that started a community cleanup project. It seemed like a tiny effort at first, but in just a few months, it turned into a movement. That's the power of individual commitment. When it adds up, it becomes a force so strong that it can change the world. Alright, let's talk about technology, because the truth is, technology is one of the biggest game changers when it comes to protecting the planet. We're living in an age where renewable energy is becoming more accessible, where we have smart technologies to help us conserve resources, and where we can use AI and big data to make more informed, environmentally friendly decisions. Take solar panels, for example. Solar energy is no longer just for the super rich or big corporations. Now, homeowners can get solar panels installed and save money on electricity while helping the environment. And let's not forget about electric vehicles, EVs. They're not just cool, they're saving us from burning fossil fuels and reducing pollution. The tech is evolving fast, and the best part? It's just getting started. Now, while individual action is incredibly important, we can't ignore the role of governments and policies in driving change. After all, governments hold a lot of power when it comes to enacting environmental laws, setting regulations, and pushing for large-scale sustainable practices. Take carbon pricing, for example. Countries like Sweden have implemented carbon taxes that incentivize businesses to reduce their carbon emissions, leading to major changes in industries like energy production and transportation. The government has the ability to make the right policy decisions that will have long-term effects on sustainability and environmental protection. One of the most urgent issues we need to tackle is climate change. We're already seeing the effects: rising sea levels, devastating wildfires, hurricanes, droughts. These are not just isolated incidents. They are symptoms of a much larger problem. The planet is heating up, and we need to act fast. Now, some people might say, "Oh, this is just a natural cycle. The Earth has always gone through changes." Well, yes, the Earth does go through natural cycles, but human activity is accelerating those changes at an alarming rate. The sooner we recognize the role we play in this, the sooner we can implement the solutions we need. Let's take a moment to talk about biodiversity. This is something we often overlook, but it's incredibly important. Biodiversity refers to the variety of life on Earth: plants, animals, insects, microbes, and ecosystems. And guess what? Without biodiversity, ecosystems fail, and without functioning ecosystems, we can't live. We've seen massive declines in biodiversity, especially with species going extinct. In fact, we are currently in the midst of the 6th mass extinction event, and it's caused by us. By protecting habitats, reducing pollution, and preserving wildlife, we can help stop this biodiversity crisis. We need to understand that we rely on nature to survive, and if we don't protect it, we're jeopardizing our own future. Here's something that might surprise you. Sustainability can actually be really good for the economy. I know it's easy to think that focusing on environmental protection means spending money, but in reality, it can lead to more jobs, more innovation, and a more resilient economy. Think about the rise of green technologies. Things like solar panels, wind turbines, and electric cars are creating new industries, new markets, and tons of new jobs. And as more companies adopt sustainable practices, We're seeing lower operating costs because they're using energy more efficiently and cutting waste. Sustainability isn't just good for the planet, it's also good for business. One of the things that gives me hope is the youth movement we're seeing today. Young people around the world are rising up and demanding action on climate change. Whether it's Greta Thunberg or millions of students participating in Fridays for Future, the youth are leading the charge for a better, more sustainable world. Why is this important? Because the youth are the future of this planet. They are the ones who will inherit the consequences of our actions, and they're not willing to sit back and let it all fall apart. By supporting youth-led initiatives and giving them a platform, we're ensuring that the next generation will be more knowledgeable, more proactive, and more committed to preserving our world.
A lenticular cloud was spotted over a mountain in Spain, remaining completely still for 24 hours.
Let's talk about health for a second, because it's all interconnected. Did you know that many of the health issues we face today, things like respiratory diseases, heart disease, and cancer, are linked to environmental factors? Air pollution, contaminated water, and exposure to harmful chemicals are all contributing to the health crisis. By cleaning up our air, water, and food systems, we're not just protecting the planet, we're protecting human health too. It's a win-win situation. That's why environmental sustainability should be viewed as a public health priority. Protecting nature means protecting us. We live in an age of social media and instant news, and I've seen firsthand how powerful it can be to spread awareness about environmental issues. The stories we share, the videos we post, the campaigns we support, these all play a huge role in shaping public perception and driving change. That's why I love using my platform to talk about environmental issues, to encourage others to get involved, and to show that positive change is possible.
Glow hovers over the
it's easy to get
tracks,
overwhelmed by the bad news,
an eerie
but I
light
like to
that
focus on
pulses through the misty
solutions,
air.
on people who are making a difference, and on the power of community. If we all use our voices, we can turn the tides on this crisis. Now, let's talk about the future of cities, because urbanization is growing at a rapid pace. By 2050, nearly 70% of the world's population will live in cities. So how do we build sustainable cities? How do we make sure that these urban environments are green, healthy, and resilient to climate change? The answer lies in smart design, renewable energy, and green infrastructure. Imagine cities where rooftops are covered in solar panels, where public transport is electric, where green space abundant, and where waste is minimized. We have the technology and the know-how to make this a reality, and it's something we need to prioritize as we continue to build and grow. Here's something you might not think about: fast fashion. The fashion industry is one of the biggest polluters in the world. From the chemicals used in dyes to the enormous amounts of textile waste, the environmental impact is enormous. But here's the good news. Sustainable fashion is on the rise. Consumers are demanding more eco-friendly products, and designers are responding with clothing made from organic materials, recycled fabrics, and fair trade practices. Brands like Patagonia and Everlane are leading the charge, proving that you can be stylish and environmentally responsible at the same time. Forests are often referred to as the lungs of the earth. They absorb carbon dioxide, produce oxygen, and support an incredible amount of biodiversity. Yet we're losing them at an alarming rate. Deforestation is responsible for a huge portion of global carbon emissions. The good news is we're also seeing movements to protect and restore forests. Organizations are working on large-scale projects to reforest areas that have been destroyed, and we're starting to see some positive results. But we need to do more. We need to stop deforestation and protect the forests that are left. They're critical to our survival. One of the most innovative ideas in sustainability is the circular economy. This is the concept where instead of the traditional take, make, dispose model, we focus on creating systems where waste is minimized and materials are reused, repaired, or recycled. It's not just about recycling more, it's about designing products that last longer and can be repurposed. Companies are already making strides with products that are modular and easy to repair, and recycling programs that help keep waste out of landfills. This is the future of business, and it's a major key to a sustainable economy. And of course, we have to acknowledge the work of conservationists. These are the heroes who dedicate their lives to protecting the environment and wildlife. From saving endangered species to creating national parks, their work is vital to maintaining biodiversity and safeguarding ecosystems. Without conservation, many species would be extinct and ecosystems would collapse. They're doing the dirty work that most of us don't see, and we owe them a lot for the health of our planet. Our oceans are vast and mysterious, covering more than 70% of the Earth's surface. Yet, they are severely threatened by pollution, overfishing, and climate change. The oceans regulate our climate, provide food for billions of people, and absorb carbon from the atmosphere. So, protecting them is not just important, it's essential. By reducing plastic waste, supporting sustainable fisheries, and protecting marine habitats, we can help preserve this vital resource. It's time we recognize the importance of the oceans and act before it's too late. One last thing to keep in mind, greenwashing. This is a term used to describe companies that claim to be environmentally friendly, but in reality, they're not doing enough or they're misleading the public. It's important to be informed consumers. When you buy a product that claims to be eco-friendly, make sure to do your research. Look for certifications, read the fine print, and hold brands accountable. The more we demand transparency,
Take a look at this
the better
breathtaking
we'll be
moment.
at supporting
a massive
companies that are
avalanche
actually making a
cascades
difference.
down the slopes of the Himalayas. People below stand in awe,
To wrap things
capturing
up,
the raw,
sustainability
unstoppable
is
power
not a
of
trend.
nature.
It's a movement. It's something we all have to be a part of every single day. It's not just about green energy or recycling. It's about changing the way we live, the way we consume, and the way we treat the planet. So what can you do? Well,
This
you can
dust
start by
storm might look
educating
small,
yourself,
but it's
sharing
surprisingly
knowledge,
powerful,
supporting sustainable
effortlessly
businesses,
swirling
and
sending
making
numerous
eco-friendly
chairs
choices
flying in
every
its
day.
wake.
And don't forget, every action counts. This is your planet, your future, and together, we can make a difference. Okay, let's be real for a second. Nature is not just a backdrop to our lives. It's the main character, and we've been treating it like an extra. If you're not convinced, here are some mind-blowing statistics that might just make you sit up and think. Every year, 15 billion trees are cut down. And you know what that leads to? Not just fewer trees, but more carbon in the air, less oxygen, and fewer habitats for all sorts of animals. If we continue this rate, we could lose half of the world's forests in just a few decades. So yeah, we might need to rethink how many TikTok challenges we need versus how many trees we plant. Speaking of carbon, the global CO2 levels have increased by nearly 50% since the pre-industrial era, according to NASA. This means more extreme weather, rising sea levels, and, well, that whole
This
no more
man is
polar
trying to
bears
stand
thing, which
against
isn't
the strong
exactly something
wind,
to be excited
but
about.
he is unable
And then
to
there's
hold his
the marine
ground.
life crisis. Over 8 million tons of plastic enter the oceans each year, and that's expected to double by 2030. That's enough plastic to fill 5 grocery bags for every foot of coastline in the world. Yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. So when you hear about saving the planet, it's not just a catchphrase, it's a reality check. And we're running out of time to fix things. We all love the Lion King, right? Circle of life, Hakuna Matata, the whole deal. But here's the twist. The circle of life doesn't work as well when humans keep breaking the circle. That's what's happening with biodiversity loss. Here's a fact that'll make you pause your Netflix binge. According to the World Wildlife Fund, we've lost 60% of wildlife populations since 1970. Yep, you heard that right. 60%. Imagine if 60% of your favorite pets, or 60% of all the pizza in the world, just disappeared. Not cool, right? But here's the thing. Animals aren't just disappearing for no reason. Habitat destruction, poaching, climate change, and let's not forget, deforestation are all contributing to this crisis. It's like we're playing the game of the circle of life, but we keep deleting animals from the cast. We all know trees are important, right? They give us oxygen, they make the world look pretty, and they give us shade on those unbearably hot days. But did you know that forests also play a crucial role in regulating climate? According to a study by the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, forests absorb 6 billion tons of carbon dioxide each year. If that doesn't make you want to hug a tree, I don't know what will. It's like trees are the Earth's built-in air filters. They suck up the bad stuff and give us fresh air in return. And here's a fun fact. A single mature tree can absorb the same amount of CO2 as a car produces while driving for 26,000 miles. So, the next time someone tells you to go for a drive, just tell them, I'd rather save the planet, thanks. But if we keep chopping down trees at the rate we're going, those trees won't be around to help us fight climate change. So we've got to step up and start protecting the lungs of our planet. Remember, the trees can't defend themselves, but we can. Now, let's talk about one of the more terrifying side effects of climate change, rising sea levels. According to NASA, the sea level has been rising at an average rate of 3 millimeters per year since 1993. Doesn't sound like much, right? But keep in mind, over the next century, this could lead to a rise of up to 3 feet 1 meter in some places. That's a lot of land underwater. And you don't need to be a scientist to know that it's not good news. By the way, sea level rise is happening at different speeds depending on where you are. For instance, in Florida, sea levels have been rising at almost double the global average. So yeah, the sunny beaches of Miami might soon be a lot wetter than they used to be. Here's the good news, renewable energy is
Look at this
booming.
massive
And when I
landslide
say
taking
booming,
down countless
I mean
trees
it's
in
growing
its path.
faster than your social media
Nature's
followers
power in
after you
full
post a
force.
viral video. According to the International Energy Agency, IEA, renewable energy is set to account for 90% of global power capacity growth by 2025. Wind, solar, and hydropower are leading the charge, and the prices for these keep dropping. Take solar energy, for example. The cost of solar panels has dropped by 90% in the last 10 years, and more homes, businesses, and even entire cities are going solar. That's a huge shift towards cleaner energy, and it's not just for tree huggers anymore. It's smart, cost-effective, and scalable. And let's talk about electric
In a matter
vehicles,
of seconds,
EVs.
the bubble of water
Did you know
rapidly
that by
freezes into
2030,
solid ice.
1 in every
A
5
stunning
cars on the road
transformation
is
driven
expected
by
to
the
be
extreme
electric?
cold.
That's millions of tons of carbon emissions being avoided. And no, they don't just look cool, they actually save you money on gas and help habitat restoration are two of the most effective ways we can fight climate change. In fact, a study published in Science found that restoring just 10% of the world's forests could absorb about 25% of global CO2 emissions. That's how powerful nature can be. There are already incredible restoration projects happening around the world. For example, in China, the government has been working to plant billions of trees in the Gobi Desert to fight desertification. And in Costa Rica, the country has successfully restored vast areas of rainforest by protecting land and incentive locals to engage in eco-friendly practices. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. Indigenous communities have been stewards of the land for thousands of years. They've been managing ecosystems and conserving biodiversity long before any of us had the term sustainability in our vocabularies. But here's the kicker. Indigenous people's rights and their land are often under threat from corporations and governments that want to exploit natural resources. If we want to restore ecosystems and protect the planet, we've got to listen to these communities and work with them, not against them. They've been doing it for centuries, and their wisdom could be the key to saving the planet. Alright, I know it's easy to get overwhelmed by all the bad news about the environment, but here's the thing, we have the tools and the knowledge to make a change. From renewable energy to reforestation, from reducing waste to protecting wildlife, we can absolutely turn this around. It's not about being perfect, it's about doing better every day. So, here's my challenge to you. Don't just sit there nodding along. Take action. Whether it's reducing your carbon footprint, supporting sustainable brands, or educating others about the importance of protecting nature, you have a role to play.
This wind is so
we all
powerful
do,
that it swept
because
the
in the
car
end,
away like
we
a
don't have a
toy.
planet B. This is it. And if we want to keep the party going for future generations, we need to get serious about protecting nature. It's time to be the change.
This man is trapped in the floodwaters.
Let's start with a simple truth. Nature is a supergiant air conditioner. If you think that turning on the air conditioner in the hot summer is a lifesaver, nature has been doing this for millions of years, and there is no need to pay for electricity. Take, for example, the Amazon rainforest, which is known as the lungs of the planet. The Amazon forest not only provides 21% of the planet's oxygen, but also helps regulate the global climate. However, every year we lose about 10,000 square kilometers of forest in just 1 year, causing this air conditioner to gradually lose its ability to operate. What do you think if one day your air conditioner runs out of gas, and you have no way to cool the room? That is the future we are creating if we do not act today. Don't let the natural air conditioner turn off because we don't care. Let's analyze a bit about one of the most devastating natural phenomena: storms and floods. Did you know that the number of extreme storms has doubled over the past 40 years? According to a report by the World Meteorological Organization, WMO, in the past decade, storms have become more intense and lasted longer, causing great damage to people and property. The scariest part is that climate change is the main culprit, making storms more and more intense. As ocean temperatures rise, the air warms, and this causes storms to form more quickly and powerfully. According to a study by the Institute of Marine Sciences,
This rock flood is truly terrifying,
every 1 degree
showcasing
Celsius
the raw
increase
power
in
of
sea
nature
temperature
as
can make
massive
storms
boulders
stronger
and
by up
debris
to
surge
5%.
uncontrollably,
So now we have the perfect
threatening
combination of
everything
high
in their
temperatures
path.
plus strong storms. And as a result, coastal areas will be exposed to more and more severe storms. If action is not taken to reduce emissions and limit global temperatures, many parts of the world will suffer terrible storms like we have seen in Puerto Rico,
A rock slide tumbling
Taiwan,
from a
or
great height
Bangladesh.
presents a truly terrifying spectacle.
Not only storms and floods, nature also has a very creative way to respond to human actions: reverse natural disasters. Sometimes we like to develop giant construction projects without caring about the impact on the environment. Then nature will react with earthquakes, tsunamis, or even landslides. Indonesia, which has 13,000 islands and is located on the ring of fire of the Pacific Ocean, is a typical example. From the 2000s until now, Indonesia has witnessed more than 100 major earthquakes. Scientists believe that most of these earthquakes are related to overexploitation of oil and natural gas, which weakens the ground. Furthermore, when we destroy rainforests to make way for farmland, we not only deprive ourselves of oxygen but also aggravate landslides. If we cannot control development and protect the environment, nature will pay a high
In
price,
Pakistan,
and humans
a
will
massive
certainly not be
glacier
the
crashes
winners.
down from the mountain peak. creating a breathtaking sight.
Although nature can be very strong and cruel, its restorative power cannot be underestimated. One of the outstanding examples of nature's ability to revive is the process of restoring coral reefs. Since the Great Barrier Reef's coral reefs were devastated by rising ocean temperatures, it was thought they would never recover. But recent studies show that coral reefs can recover on their own if water temperatures drop and the environment returns to a stable state. The James Cook University report has shown that if we act to cut emissions and protect our seas from pollution, these reefs could recover within the next few decades. Another interesting story is that forest ecosystems in Costa Rica are recovering strongly after the country adopted a forest protection policy in the 1980s. At that time, about 25% of the country's area was forest.
But when the man releases
Today,
it into the
that
water,
percentage has increased to nearly 54%, and Costa Rica has become a symbol of nature recovery and conservation. This proves one important thing: nature does not always take revenge. If we take care of it properly, nature can come back strong and bring benefits to humans. Surely you wouldn't think that food has anything to do with the power of nature, right? But the truth is, the way we produce and consume food has a huge impact on the environment. Each year, 1/3 of global food is wasted or thrown away, according to a report by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO. This is a huge number and extremely wasteful, not only in terms of resources but also in terms of CO2 emissions. Our diet, especially meat consumption, contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. Livestock farming alone contributes 5% of total global emissions, double the emissions from the entire transport sector. However, the interesting thing is that switching to sustainable
the water
food
transformed
like vegan
this
food
house into
can
a
help
boat
reduce
and
these
carried it
emissions
away
greatly.
on its powerful
Reducing
currents.
animal foods can reduce dietary carbon emissions by 60%. Technology is helping us protect nature in ways we never imagined. A good example is climate
Dangerous
technology.
Typhoon Carthon
Technologies
is
such as
wreaking
carbon
havoc on the
capture and
island.
storage, CCS, are becoming increasingly viable, helping us suck carbon out of the atmosphere and return it to the soil, instead of allowing it to continue to heat up the planet. Another example is the use of drones to monitor and protect forests. Drones not only help monitor forest conditions, but can also spray seeds into devastated areas, helping to quickly regenerate forests. In fact, a non-profit organization called the Drone Seed is using drones to replant 100,000 trees every day, with the goal of regenerating forests and reducing the risk of wildfires. So, from nature's cruelty to its amazing recovery, we see that nature can be both our friend and our
bringing
enemy.
terrifying
But the
floods
important
and
thing
heavy
is,
rainfall.
the power of nature is not something we
These
can
rocks
control
crashed
forever
down
if
from
we
a great
continue
height
to
on the
destroy it.
mountain,
If we don't
producing a
act today,
deafening roar
it could
that
cost
echoes
us a
through the
world we
air.
cannot live in. Take action, protect nature, and we will be able to live in harmony with this planet for many more generations. Otherwise, nature will solve the problem in its own way, and we may be the ones who have to face the consequences. That's it. An in-depth look at the power of nature, complete with facts and evidence. Hope you have a clearer and more interesting view of the relationship between humans and nature.
Just got home.
It cannot be denied that renewable energy is one of the leading solutions to help reduce human impact on the environment. Solar, wind, hydroelectric, and geothermal energy are not only alternatives to fossil energy, but are also cleaner and more sustainable. Specific index. According to the International Energy Agency, IEA, switching to renewable energy can help reduce carbon emissions by 70% by 2050. Furthermore, the renewable energy industry has created 11 million jobs globally by 2021, and this number can only increase if we continue to invest. So, if you want to live a long life and not have to worry about phone bills,
tons,
support
yet the
renewable
wind
energy.
pushed it so
Solar
effortlessly.
projects not only help reduce costs but also help save the environment. Just like quitting smoking, starting today will help you live longer. Look at the Amazon forest. No, don't just look at the pretty pictures on Instagram, but look at its condition. We are losing forests at a rate of 5 million hectares per year. And you know what? Forests not only help regulate the climate, but are also home to more than 50% of species on Earth. So what is the solution to this problem?
Oh my
Regenerating
God.
forests
I'm
and
so
protecting
confused.
existing forests
How did
is an
these dogs
important
get
task.
inside the tree?
Costa Rica is a great
truly
example.
Unbelievable.
The country has succeeded in protecting and regenerating 54% of its forests over the past 40 years.
Massive torrents
Data
of water
and evidence.
crash down from the
According
clouds.
to the Food and
with
Agriculture
wild,
Organization of the
unstoppable
United
force.
Nations,
It feels
FAO,
like the sky itself
every year
is
we lose
unraveling.
7 million hectares of forest. However, Brazil has begun efforts to reduce deforestation and regenerate about 3 million hectares of forest in the past 5 years. So, the simplest way to overcome this situation is to plant trees. We can all participate in the tree planting campaign, even if it's just one tree a year. If the whole world planted 1 million trees in one day, we would have 500 million tons of carbon absorbed. Who among us hasn't at least once thrown something into the trash without thinking about whether it could be recycled? We live in a world of constant consumption, and this is leading to uncontrolled waste production and disposal. A scary number is 3 billion tons of waste is created every year globally,
At Yellowstone
and
National
1/3 of
Park,
that is
people
plastic
stand
trash.
spellbound as a
Specific
massive
data.
geyser erupts,
According to the United
launching
Nations
towering
Organization,
clouds of steam
UN,
and dark
every
ash
minute
into
1
the
million
sky.
plastic bottles are
This
sold
breathtaking
globally,
display
and only
captures
about
the
9% of
sheer,
plastic
untamed
is
power of
recycled.
nature.
What about the rest? It will drift into the ocean, turning into giant garbage islands. The simplest solution is to recycle and reduce the use of plastic. Cities like San Francisco have achieved an 80% recycling rate in just 10 years thanks to strict recycling policies and citizen education.
Landslide in Norway has swept houses into the sea,
Technology
causing
is helping
significant
us solve
destruction.
environmental problems in ways we could not previously imagine. Think about climate technologies that capture carbon from the atmosphere and return it to the soil. A great example is Carbon Clean Solutions, which is using technology to filter CO2 directly from the air and convert it into useful materials. Notable numbers: studies from the International Energy Agency to reducing consumption of animal foods. Every consumer decision can make a big difference for the planet. Participate in international agreements. Global agreements such as the Paris Agreement and the Global Climate Alliance play an important role in motivating countries to cooperate on environmental protection. Important summary: we can't change it all overnight, but every small action we take today will make a big difference tomorrow. What we do in the years to come will determine whether Earth can recover and continue to support life, or whether we will face the dire consequences of irreversible devastation. From reducing emissions to protecting forests or recycling, each solution can make an important contribution in the fight to protect nature. And this is a fight in which everyone can participate, from small actions in daily life to larger decisions in global policy. Finally, don't forget one important thing. Nature is not an infinite resource, but humans can be an extremely powerful force in protecting it. Act now before it's too late. A green future is not a distant dream. It depends on our actions, and your actions can be the
astonishing
first
rise
step
of
to
land
creating
has
change.
lifted nearly 10
Globe
feet above
showing
the
Europe
surrounding
Africa
area.
seedling.
An
So,
unbelievable
in the journey to
natural
protect
phenomenon.
nature, there is no ending point. We all have a role to play, and change starts with ourselves. Finally, I want to sincerely thank all of you who have been through this journey with me. Environmental and nature problems may seem complex and difficult to solve, but when we look and act together, we can create great changes. Thank you for taking the time to listen, learn, and reflect on solutions to protect the planet. Even small actions can still contribute to creating a sustainable future. And you, each of us, are an indispensable part in building a better world. Don't forget that nature is our common home. Let's preserve and protect
The
it together
landslide caused a lot
so
of
that
damage
future
to the
generations
houses.
can also enjoy the miracles we have. Sincere thanks and hope that you will take action today for a green and sustainable future for all.
This lava flow is truly mesmerizing and absolutely stunning. absolutely incredible.
Oh my god! Look at this run! Oh! Oh my god! Holy!
Nothing truly compared the sheer power of water. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. See you next time.
Wow, look what I found! It's a vortex, look! Hey, Zach! You think that sucked down a stick? I got one right here. Oh, yeah! Oh, my goodness! Whoa!
Friends, I want you to remember one thing. Nature is a powerful force that we cannot underestimate. Don't wait until nature gets angry, and we regret not doing anything to protect it. Let's act now, because only by protecting nature can we protect ourselves and future generations. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and remember to wear a mask when going out, because nature doesn't like people who don't know how to take care of themselves. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.